Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
Oh my
Hi
god.
guys. Oh hey, what's up? Alright,
Oh
Evan.
shoot, my favorite channel, Fableworks TV, is live. Let's
Oh, dude,
go.
follow channel is live on Twitch for me. Hold
Oh my
on, I gotta see
God.
who
We
it is.
can
Follow
still
channel.
get drops.
Subscribe. Subscribe to our OnlyFans. I mean, what? Am I allowed to say
Hey,
that?
Don't.
Can I say it?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know
I
either.
don't think so.
I don't have an OnlyFans, so I think I'm allowed to say it.
I would just avoid the words just in case.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right,
Alright.
everybody.
Evan's recap.
Our session started with a big staircase because the journey of 1,000 steps begins
Evan,
with
Evan,
one. Yes.
try and put it more towards the middle. It doesn't all fit on the stream.
I zoomed out.
Oh, okay, thank you.
The journey of 1,000 steps again begins with one. We had a ragtag group of rabbit people running up to the steps just to find some cocky brown rabbit at the top of the steps, hands on his hips. He was very I don't know, you gotta draw his eyebrows to be angrier.
Choose your words wisely.
We learned his name was Reiji, and he was a very confident young rabbit who was aspiring to be the same thing we all are. But whenever the big, huge, when the big, huge gates swung open, there was another big rabbit guy, but he was like way burlier, like he had big muscles. And I forget what his name was, but he was obviously a very high-ranking member of this guild. So we all listened to him and followed him. He showed us to this like big ceremony where there was a rabbit who was given a bow, but it was like a weapon bow, and he was like, "Oh!"
Sure. Oh.
And this other rabbit was like on his knees. He was like, "Give me this bow. I have worked very hard for it." He had a necklace, and this necklace had like beads on it of like different types and materials, and it was like wood. And I finally gave him like one final one. It was a golden bead, I believe. It was a golden bead. And he's got like this rabbit also has a bunch of like scars on him, like because he's a very weathered and jaded graduate of this prestigious program that we all see and want to be a part of. Then we get to do our own little ceremony where there's 3 groups. This is the girl group. I forget what their name is. This is the Ash
Thistle?
group. Everybody give the
Willows.
Ash group a
Or Willows, yeah.
Everybody boo the Ash group real quick.
Boo!
Alright, and then this is the
Boo.
the Thistle troop. All of us entered into the Thistle troop as we got our own necklaces with a little wooden bead. Then we had a big dinner. Big dinner, bang. Food and plates and people all over the place. And one certain rabbit, who was a red one, was like, "Hey, I'm gonna commit assault on another person our age." And he was like, "I'm gonna push this brazier over." This is a brazier. Hold on.
That looks like a frying pan.
Same thing.
Come on.
And so we were like, you know what? We ain't having that. And so Blake stabs a bunch of people. He commits very serious crimes. But we fight and we duke it out and like
Serious war crimes.
And towards the end, we all triumph over the Ash Clan. So Thistle Troop is greater than the Ash Clan. and we're like, cool. One dude tries to throw a kunai at my eye right here. But then the big guy, this guy, kind of calms everyone down and sends us off to our own rooms. We all get some rest.
Hell yeah.
And now we're here. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Evan. Well, everybody, welcome back. I'm really excited.
Yippee!
Let's do it. Last thing y'all did, like Evan said, is y'all went sleep. Caleb, you decided as everyone else laid down to go to bed that you were going to leave outside of your dormitory and head into the monastery. You walk outside, you make it to the courtyard, you look up, and you see as one of the teachers is sitting up on the rooftop. She has these big Harry Potter glasses and blue-gray fur, and she's kind of just sitting there, and she looks down at you. She's just watching. And you kind of like freeze for a second, like you might be in trouble, and then she does nothing, and she continues to read her book. And you continue on your way. What do you want to do?
So while she's like looking at me, I want to like kind of instill some good faith within her that I'm not out here to cause any like mischief as far as she's aware. So I'm just gonna hit her with maintaining eye contact.
Yeah. You do that, and you see as she visibly like rolls her eyes and looks back down at her novel, like she's had enough of the night already.
Fair.
You can tell that she is
Okay,
a very,
so-
very short rabbit. Like for a teacher, for an adult, she is small. Like she
Yeah.
is dwarfed, and you can tell it might be
Yeah.
something that she's insecure about.
So around Reiji, do I see any like areas that look kind of secluded?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Pull it.
There we go. Here we go now. Hey.
First roll of the night.
And how's the night gonna go? Average.
Average.
-3, pretty
Decent.
average.
There
I
we
like
go.
it. So you take a look
got a
around,
10.
right? You look up, you see the teacher, you look down, you're in the main courtyard. You look to your left, you see the massive gate that you entered in, and you realize that you are in the courtyard where the graduation ceremony did take place. The teacher is sitting on top of what's assumed to be the dining hall, and directly ahead you see more student housing. You see a couple of the candles inside are still lit. You see that there's a path that curves around the dining hall deeper into the monastery, into areas that you have yet to venture. You don't know if it's more secluded or not, but it's definitely out of eyesight of the teacher.
Alright, I'm gonna have Reiji go where he thinks that he's out of like eye shot of the teacher
Okay.
as best he can.
You walk around the dining hall and you turn the corner, and right as you turn the corner, you hear her clear her throat as she goes, You continue?
No, I'm gonna stop here. As long as like she's kind of out of my line of
she can't
sight.
directly see you. She can kind of see like maybe
Okay.
the back of your robe or something. Like you got 1 foot left in
Okay.
the frame.
Then Reiji uncharacteristically kneels down and he takes off his signet ring
hmm
and takes off his prayer beads, or bead singular.
Yep.
Wraps the string around the signet ring and just holds it in his hands. Closes his eyes, bows his head, and starts to say, "Great Yuntari, hear my plea. Protect my mother as you have me. Be the guardian, for then I could not. Grant Father resistance to his wrath. Guide Clan Yamamoto down a true righteous path." And he then repeats this about 6 more times,
Mhm.
and then stands up, turns around, starts walking back to the housing area, and just like acknowledges the presence of the lady on the roof again, as respectfully as he knows how, and starts to venture back.
So as you let out your little prayer, right, and you give thanks to Yuntari and ask for blessings, you kind of stand up, and right as you finish your prayer, you hear that voice clear her throat again as the teacher is looking over the rooftop as she was watching you pray, and she goes, "Stiffen your back next time."
Apologies. I've
It's all
never-
about posture. If you're gonna prostrate yourself, you might as well do it right.
I've never done such a thing before.
Don't worry. I'll teach you day after tomorrow. I'll teach you how to pray.
I would be appreciative of that, teacher. I wish you a good night and good luck on your watch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like you. As she kind of slinks back on the roof and picks up her book again, but then you see her kind of peek over the top of the book and says, "Not many religious people around these days." You get a good close look at the book, and it is not a religious book. You can tell that it's some sort of history book.
Okay.
You
Well, then I'm gonna turn and start walking back.
You turn and start walking back to the Thistle Troop's hideout, right? You make your way over, and as you pass by, your hideout is kind of in the middle of a conglomerate of like 10 buildings. And you pass by one building, and you overhear the pained grunts of one of the Ash Troop as he's like, "Ah!" And you hear a slow, like, almost nurturing mother voice say, "Stop squirming or you're only going to make it worse," as you hear like a knot cinch and he goes, "Ah!" And you make your way back to the Thistle Troop.
As much as Reiji wants to look in and peek, he knows he's not supposed to be outside right now, so he's just gonna keep going.
Yeah. You make your way back with no issues. And as you stumble in the front door, Blake, would you like to do anything?
Can I try and... You remember that gif from Baki where the dude is walking literally like right behind him, exactly the same movements? I want to come in the door right behind Reiji, just like that.
Give me
As if
another
I never
stealth check.
left. Okay.
It's so funny. Yeah, no, you do it,
22.
hands down.
In-
Reggie, you are unaware of his presence, and anyone else inside doesn't even see it. But Blake, you mirror his walk perfectly. As he walks in the door, he turns around to shut the door, and you twist your body, and your hand mirrors his own, as you are basically his shadow, and you sneak back in, completely undetected.
As I'm right behind him, I'm gonna just kind of lean forward right to his ear and say, "Who is Yuntari?"
Oh, I mean, I would think everyone would know about Tari and Rokon. Have you not heard of them?
I do more of my studies on things like cartography. I do not know of religion. It's beyond me.
If you don't know about religion, where did you hear the name Tari?
The winds tell me things in the night air. Yes,
The
I heard them
winds tell you things in the night air.
carried it from the window like a little birdie.
Now, and I kind of pull Asher to the side, and I'm like, okay, what bullshit are you on about? I've known ninjas, I've known samurai, I've known many warriors, I've known many cartographers. What are you talking about the winds tell you things? That doesn't fucking happen.
Brody, can I try and walk over to the window? I'm gonna take out one of my map scrolls, and I'm gonna open the window, and I'm gonna put the paper right up to my big rabbit ear, and I'm gonna let the wind blow the paper, and I'm just gonna sit there and go, Yuntari.
give me like you're trying to fool him in a way, like make the paper make the noise, kind of like a marionette in a way. Go ahead and give me a deception check.
18.
Dude, like Caleb, you're watching him, you don't fully believe this guy. Like you think, man, he must have been following me or something.
Question.
Like, it just
Can I roll insight against that in case I get a nat
roll
20 or
insight.
something?
Dude, roll insight.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna happen.
So like
Dang it.
you're on to him. You know, you have common sense. Like his story's just not lining up. You think he might have followed you or something, and you're like, yeah, whatever. And then he walks over and you see him hold the paper to his ear, and then you see as the paper visibly whispers Yuntari, and you don't see his lips move, and you're like, holy fuck, what? Like you're still skeptical, but how the fuck did he do that?
Where? And I've asked many people where they're from. Yeah, where are you from?
It is like I said before, I'm from very far away.
But where? I've never heard tale of these abilities of wind manipulation.
Yes, it's something that we have out in distant Landia.
Distant Landia.
Out in distant Landia.
And he just turns around, visibly frustrated, and he's like concerned still, but like
I'm gonna immediately get
internally
right behind him
conflicted.
again. Immediately right behind him again.
So, like, do you think you could tell me a little bit about Yuntari?
Well, in the ancient texts, Yuntari is the one who gave us the power of choice, and Rokan the one who gave us the power of will. It is the only thing that separates you and I from simple rabbits. They have blessed us, and we do not know why, but we have been blessed with higher consciousness.
So you would say that they are good in nature?
Well, not necessarily good per se. It is difficult because Rokan, willpower is a very strong thing, and some people misuse that power. But at least in my frame of thinking, Yuntari is the one that gave us the choice to be better than our animal instincts and urges. Because although we may have the willpower to enact those urges in the ways we do for civilization or war, Yuntari gives us the choice to be better.
Asher kind of looks at you like really perplexed, like he's trying to kind of understand what you're saying to him, but he doesn't really get it. But he looks at you very, very like
seeing
dead
that
set.
he's like kind of confused. He's like, okay, so bear with me here for a second. When you stabbed the Ash Troop in the leg, what did you feel? Was it an urge to stab just for the sake of stabbing, or was it like,
No,
these people are hurting my comrades and I must defend them? Or was it more an animalistic instinct?
No, it's I have been surrounded by many violent actions in my life, but I believe that it is the only way to achieve peace is to make it yourself. And if I am to achieve peace, then I need to have friends around me that will protect me the way that I am planning to protect them. So,
And the one who gave you that opportunity to make that complex series of choices was that of Yuntari. Rokan gave you the power to drive that knife through the Ash Troop's legs.
so I think I understand it, but my question is, what choices are you trying to make, Reiji?
I don't think we really need to get into that right now. I think there are more pressing matters. We have a lot to deal with as far as training, and Reiji's like visibly like he's like I'm getting uncomfortable because like I shouldn't be divulging this kind of information. He's like, we should move past this. I don't know what you heard or what you thought you heard, but it's best you move on from that. And if you can see righteousness within us, great. That is your choice. And I wish you good luck in understanding the true power that the gods have over us.
You see, as Asher kind of gives you like a lukewarm smile, like he wants to give you a big one, but he just doesn't know how to. And he looks at you almost kind of sweetly, and he says, "Well, thank you for telling me what you know. I hope that the choices you choose are the ones that hopefully make us friends."
I hope so. I bye. And he walks away and turns and just goes and lays down and like tries to secretively put back on his signet ring and slip on his beads around his neck.
Okay, you do that. Blake, you were the last one awake. Everyone else has retired for the night. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Birdie, I want to find the most random and obscure spot that anybody would sleep in, and I want to take all of the linens in the house and cover myself with them to stay hidden.
You see a cupboard you could probably fit in.
I'm gonna get in the cupboard and I'm gonna pull all of the
Okay.
linens in there. I'm just gonna cover myself in them completely.
All right, you cocoon yourself inside of this cupboard with your beddings, and it is nice. It is cozy. You're able to shut the door fully, and you're in the dark. You retire.
I like
to
being in the
sleep.
dark. I go to sleep.
Everybody, go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw for your first night at the monastery.
I got a 2.
I got a
I'll take a
6.
14.
I also got a 2.
I also
Dang,
got a 2.
3 twos.
I got a 15. Leaf is very comfortable
it.
in different spots.
Not a whole lot of wise people on this party, seems like.
That's okay. You guys lay down and retire for the night, and a couple of you fall asleep a lot easier than the rest. But some of you struggle with this newfound security, with this newfound area. You don't know if somebody's going to barge in and hurt you. You know, some of you have lived on the streets, others are not used to such musky living quarters. But you all eventually fall to sleep and get some of the best rest that you've ever had in your life. Caleb, you're used to living in luxury with silk sheets and amazing mattresses and fluffy pillows, and for some reason you've slept better here than you've ever slept in your life. All of you have good dreams. Even those who are plagued by bad dreams, who regularly have nightmares, you all have dreams of your past, of picking flowers, of good meals, of long-lost family members. Your dreams are nice and quaint and loving. You all wake up to the sound of a small bell outside of your door. What
Did
would you
we
guys like
did we
to
get a
do?
long rest,
You guys
even if we got a
all
low number?
long rest, yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever you take a long rest, we do have sanctuary system in place for those who aren't aware of it and anybody in chat who doesn't know. Sanctuary system means you can only long rest when you have warmth, a bed, food, and relative safety. You know what I mean? You guys do get a full rest. You get to replenish all your health, remove any exhaustion levels that you have, yada yada. And then yeah, the bell.
Brody, whenever I hear the bell, because I'm more of a secretive person, I want to try and open the cupboard, leaving all the linens in there, and get out and close it before
Dude.
anybody else notices.
So Blake, you open this cupboard as everyone else is kind of stirring and wiping their eyes. Nobody really sees, but as you open the cupboard, you see that there's a window, like a bamboo, it's got the slits right next to the door that you can kind of peek out of, and you see the silhouette, and it looks huge and terrifying, and the ears are massive, and you know that there's somebody outside the door, and they look hulking and intimidating and scary.
I'm
And you
gonna
hear
I'm
the
gonna go to
doorbell jingle again.
I'm gonna go to the door. I'm gonna get kind of behind the door and pull it, but move with the door so I'm not in line of sight when the door opens.
You open this door as everyone else groggily kind of rolls out of bed and wipes their eyes. All of you look up, and as the sun is rising, illuminating this figure standing in the doorway, you see as a white rabbit woman steps in, and she is wearing a very ornate, flowing purple yukata. And it's like, we're talking, she's got the waist sash and everything. Her fur is perfectly cleaned, and she has a very elegant posture to her as she steps in gracefully. And she looks around, and all of you see that she has purple eyes. She says, "Good morning, children. You'll be with me today. Grab your things, get dressed, meet me outside." And she kind of gestures down to all of your white robes
And my black robe.
and your black robe. She does
more of a
fall on that
tie-dye.
black robe, and Blake, you see as her face like goes in disgust. She goes, "Ugh." And then she turns around and steps out the door.
Leaf makes sure to put a rock in the pocket of his white yukata.
Yeah,
Just to
yeah, you got a pocket.
have it locked.
And a rock.
Yeah, just put a rock in there. Yeah, just
I dig it.
I'm gonna go around and make sure that everybody else is waking up. and
I was
getting
about to
their
say,
stuff.
Grin is going to attempt to put this on, but he is going to visibly struggle because I've never seen anything like this in my
Yeah,
life.
yeah, dude. You sit there and you notice that the other rabbits
like,
kind of
looking
put it
at
on
it,
and
like-
tie the belt. You, for some reason, you put one arm in wrong, take it out, put it in right, and you tie the knot, but it looks weird. Like the knot is wrong.
After a while of frustration, I'm just gonna throw it on my head and like look and pout. Just like I'm over it.
I'm gonna.
Grin, do you need help?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to sound so sad about it.
Sound like
I actually
Eeyore.
don't know if I'm the best person for this. I'm gonna attempt to tie the knot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing my best.
Go ahead and give me a performance check. All of you have grown up in the relative east, and you can discern that he's not from around these parts. And you do tie a better knot than he does. You're used to the
You know-
different yukatas and at least seeing the knots. Like, you make it look at least better than he had it.
It may not be perfect, but I was raised in a fishing town, and so we learned some knots, which is good. But you did a good try.
Thanks. I've never had something like this before.
Neither have I. Sekito, are you okay?
Sekito is just like, yeah.
It's cruel. You've never had clothes. No, sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey man, you're stealing my lines.
I know. I'm sorry. It's the only thing that
That's
came to my
exactly what I was
head,
gonna
bro.
say.
I knew it.
You give me by 1 fucking second.
I know.
You,
Sekito is gonna follow the white rabbit lady.
Sekito, you in particular, when you wake up and you put on your white robes and tie your belt, you make sure to grab your prayer beads. And today, they're a little heavier than they were yesterday. They have a certain weight to them, and you kind of wrap them around your hands. And they're just heavier today than they were yesterday. You guys all
Sekito's gonna
step
take a
out.
deep breath.
I like it.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You all step out into the courtyard, and you see as this lady is standing, and behind her is the massive courtyard and the massive stone gate. And she, like I said, she has a certain elegance to her. She's standing prim and proper, and her shoulders are perfectly square, and you can tell that she has lived either a life of luxury or a life of service. And she looks you all up and down, looks over to... It's Gurn, right?
Rin.
No,
Grin.
it's Grin.
She looks over to Grin in
Grin.
particular, and she walks over and looks at the knot, looks around at the other troop, smiles a little bit, and then she kind of pats down your fur like a mother would fix somebody's hair, right, with a comb. And she messes with your mane, makes it look all nice and tidy. She goes down to the next person, Trinity. She looks you up and down, gives a small nod, moves to the next one. She sees Caleb, and she's like, I expected nothing less. Moves down. She gets all the way down to Asher, and she looks at your black spotted, ink stained robes, and she says, Why?
The color of white does not fit me.
Okay, well, it'll do for now. Eventually you'll be able to get different colored robes, but
If there were,
It'll do
If there were white shadows, I would love to keep the white yukata, but if there are not white shadows, then the black yukata will do.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds great. We will get you sorted eventually. And she steps back and looks at you all and says, "My name is Master Maru. I am in charge of cooking, cleaning, and tending to people's wounds. I am one of the teachers here, and today y'all are going to be following me. We're going to be doing some chores, going on a general tour. Today is the day for questions, because after today, you will no longer be ignorant. So don't be afraid to speak your minds. Try to keep up. Anybody have anything they want to say or anything they want to leave inside the room right now?"
So,
Master Yaru?
Maru.
Maru. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Blake.
No, you go ahead. It wasn't important.
Are we gonna have to do this as like a job every day?
Yes, so you guys actually have a schedule, and she pulls out a piece of paper and she's going to put it in a little slot by y'all's door. You look at it, and on it you see, go ahead and grab my notes. You see 7 days. The first day is Moon's Day, and next to it you see Master Maru. Y'all know that today is Moon's Day, also known as Monday. You see the next day is Tides Day, as in the sea tides, and you see that it's Nettie, Master Nettie. The next day you see is Wind Day with Master Lin. You then see Thunder Day with Master Koji, followed up with Fire Day with Master Braga, followed up with Stone Day with Master Tobu. And the last day is Rest Day. And you do not see any masters assigned to that day.
Maru, Nettie.
Yep.
What was Wednesday?
Wednesday is Master Lin, Lihn.
Okay. And then Koji, Braga, Tobu?
Koji, Braga, Tobu, correct. And the last day is Rest Day. Yep. She looks at you, and to answer your question, she says, "Every week you will meet with a specific teacher. Moon's Day is going to be my day. We will go around and we will prepare meals. We will clean the grounds, and I will teach you all general etiquette and how to act and manners and stuff like that. Anything from first aid to tea pouring ceremonies, that is my domain. I'll also teach y'all basic, like I said, basic first aid and stuff like that. So that way you can patch up wounds and care for sick people, stuff like that. But every single troop has a single day where they will prepare meals for everyone else and clean the grounds and do laundry, wash dishes. And it just so happens that y'all start today." And almost as if on cue, you see Ash Troop following behind Master Tobu, the gray rabbit with a rod, as he takes them into the courtyard and starts pointing at spots, and all of them enter a plank position. She says,
That's
"Do y'all have
awesome.
any other questions?"
Asher just kind of shakes his head, really like
No.
he doesn't even know what he would ask.
Okay. All right. Yes. You see, as she kind of bows her head, looks around, looks back at Master Tobu, rolls her eyes, and says, "You've got at least 3 days before you have to deal with that." And almost as if on cue, y'all see him kick one of the students in the ribs that touch the ground, and he says, "Get back up!" And the Ash Troop is just groaning, and they're like, "Ah!" And she says, "All right, follow me."
Can I look at the two that I stabbed and see if they're having trouble doing planks
Yes.
because I stabbed them?
You look over, and you do see the two that you stabbed. Their legs are bound, but there's no blood, as they are holding their plank positions, and they're always the ones that touch first. That one red rabbit that kept mouthing off is the one who keeps receiving the most kicks.
Reiji is laughing hysterically, just oh, pitiful fools. Maybe if you were stronger, it wouldn't have happened to you.
Mayu comes up behind you guys and kind of ushers y'all forward, and she says, "Laugh all you want. You'll have your turn."
Oh, were you here for yesterday's training thing?
I was in
Did
the
you see?
kitchen.
You saw? Oh, it was great.
Yeah, well, you do actually, on that note, Caleb, you look up and down and you guys notice that the psychopath rabbit is nowhere to be seen in the Ash Troop. And she says, well, hopefully y'all will learn a valuable lesson from yesterday's training.
There is the other Ash Troop member, the one that was going to stab the spotted bunny in the back of the head.
She looks at you with stern eyes and she says, he is in the Still Burrow.
It would the Steel Burrow is what?
If you lie, if you cheat, or if you intend to harm another student inappropriately, you will find yourself in the Still Burrow. It is a time for silent meditation, it is a time for reflection, it is a time for isolation, where you will confront the demons that you have brought to this monastery. So try your best to stay out of trouble. Otherwise, you might find yourself in the Still Burrow as well.
So, they said that I did not do anything wrong because I held myself back, but I did stab those two boys right there. Was I supposed to go to this Still Burrow?
No, not at all. The Still Burrow is reserved for those who gravely or maliciously mess up. You were never given any instructions not to defend yourself or to protect yourself or even not to bring weapons into the monastery. See, the difference between what you did and what he did is if Braga hadn't intervened, he would have killed somebody. We don't tolerate that. From what I heard, you did an excellent job just trying to survive, and that's the goal here.
And Maru, hi, I'm the rabbit who would have died. Where is this Still Burrow?
You know what? We can start the tour
Curiosity.
there. And you see, as she ushers y'all down, you have the dining hall and two paths that go back behind the dining hall. She says, we'll go ahead and start the tour. And she walks y'all down and you see a bunch of houses. And each of these houses, as you go down the line, they increase in elegance and size. You see some of them have trees and gardens, and others have big windows and patios and balconies. And she says, this is the student housing. Here, you start in the lowest form of house. As you gain reputation and as you increase in responsibility and do good, you have the opportunity to move up to each one of these troop houses. You can do this by completing quests, earning merit marks, proving yourselves, ranking up. There are a multitude of reasons as to why you could upgrade your living. Yeah, she says that there are 10 total on each side. She points out one in particular. She says, this is the grandest house we have. And right now, our main troop, the Oak Troop, currently lives in there. Maybe one day you can live in there. And you see that it has waterfalls that come down and a small creek that comes in front of it. You see that there are massive buildings, and this thing is about the size of a small dojo. And it looks nice. It looks fancy compared to y'all's one almost studio apartment that y'all live in. She walks down a little farther and comes around the back of the dining hall. And you see as she opens up these massive cedar doors, and you step into the dining hall where you had your first fight. She says, all right, over there in the corner are brooms. Go ahead and grab a broom.
Okay.
Reiji goes to the brooms and starts just handing them to people. Like, he doesn't want the brooms, so he keeps grabbing and handing, grabbing and handing.
Yep. You guys
grabs a broom and he actually grabs two and he gives one to Yuri. And he's like, I'm gonna take that corner and I'll like try to meet you back in the center. And like just enthusiastically runs to the corner.
You do that, and as y'all begin sweeping and just trying to maintain the main dining hall, she says, this is the dining hall and the kitchen, and she points over to a red curtain that kind of comes over a doorway and leads into the back. She says, you'll eat here, you'll clean here, and you'll serve others here. A full belly means a focused mind, and every dish begins with good hands in the kitchen. After we finish with the tour, we'll come back here and we'll start preparing a meal for everyone later today.
I love cooking. Let's go.
I need everyone to go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Oh, God.
I know.
Womp. 1. I got
13.
a 1. Not natural. Look at all those -3 wisdoms.
Perfect. I
The
love
cook
it.
boy got the high. No.
Moru, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I am willing to do whatever at this school to prosper in y'all's terms. I don't cook. People cook for me.
You see as she kind of laughs, like belly laughs and leans back, she says, "That's what you're here to learn." You see, contrary to your old way of living, here you will learn to serve before you are served. Because that is the way this monastery operates. I'm assuming you're here on sponsorship?
I am here because I am one of the best, one of the strongest, and I come from a very,
Well, that's
very,
great. You will be one
very
of the best
strong family,
cooks
and I
we
have some of the best. What?
He was given the choice to be here by Yuntari.
No,
And I
no,
kind
no.
of like shake my head and I give him the thumb.
Really?
So Reiji is gonna pull Asher aside and just like be like, one moment, and he's like, Asher, if you speak of my association with Yuntari in any way, I don't know what you think you heard. You tell no one. No one. Do you understand me? Not a soul.
Is it like taboo to be
No,
religious or something?
No, not to most. But to my mother, it could be detrimental. So please.
Asher
say
was
nothing.
kind of.
And
still
Rage is
thinking
visibly
it.
like his eyes are starting to well up, and he's like, just tell no one.
Asher is kind of looking at you like, oh, this is like, it's whatever, it's just a religion. But as you say that, he nods understanding, and he looks at you and he says, yeah, I will not say nothing. My deepest apologies.
It is fine this time. Just please, never again.
Yeah.
Nothing must happen. Please.
I understand.
And then we
Yeah,
Leaf
you guys
Leaf
did
pokes
it.
up, he's
usher him
like,
back.
he's like, hey, Master Maru, I finished sweeping, and he like gestures at the sweeping, and it's like the worst sweep job you've ever seen in your life. Like,
dirtier.
he has no
Fucking-
idea somehow it looks worse.
Perfect.
Yeah, and before we head, I'm also Master Maru. Question.
Answer.
So, my, I guess, acquaintance there, Reiji, says he doesn't like cooking. Is there any way maybe he could take over my duties of cleaning and I take over or start cooking early, and that way we share the load and he does more serving others, but we each do our separate tasks.
That is an
I quite enjoy
amazing-
cooking.
Amazing mindset to have, trying to divide up the responsibilities. But by the end of your stay at the monastery, you will all be well enough equipped to survive on your own in whatever profession you desire. The goal here is to teach you life skills, to teach you to take care of yourself, to take care of estates, and to take care of others. And at the very least, be able to make yourself a sandwich. But yes, you all have different responsibilities and different chores depending on the day, and every day will be different. Today, we're doing general cleaning. Next time, we might just practice a tea ceremony. And we'll have lessons to teach you proper etiquette and proper details and manners, as she looks over at Reggie in particular. Now, let us continue with the tour. She takes y'all out of the dining hall after you guys finish sweeping, some areas better than others, walks down the path and reaches the end of the student housing. And you enter a torii gate that leads back into the far right corner of this monastery. And you go ahead.
Sorry, as we get to like an area that I haven't seen before, I'm gonna pull out the working map that I have of the entire monastery, and I'm gonna start kind of marking any landmarks, almost getting kind of enveloped by trying to make it perfect.
Perfect. You do that. You enter into this torii gate and you start marking down your little map. And as you walk in, you notice that you're in a massive rock garden with bamboo shoots, and you cross over this big wooden bridge. And off in the corner of the monastery, you see that there's a big koi pond with fish swimming around. And there is a wooden, almost porch/dock that sits right next to the koi pond. And there is a big, fat, white rabbit, or not white, it's a pink rabbit in a green yukata. And he is sitting there and he has a butterfly on his head as his back is to y'all, and he's in a meditating pose. She says, "This is the sanctuary garden. This is where you'll probably find Master Koji." And she points over. And she says, "He often meditates here, and if you have any lessons with him, he will probably have you meditate alongside him. Now be careful though. Disturbing his meditation, you might end up fighting with Master Koji, and not in the traditional way." As you see an invisible pocket of air push the butterfly off his head without him moving a muscle. She then takes you guys. Do what?
Like it looks magical?
Yeah, 100%. You see as air pushes it. She takes y'all farther down the path. Y'all follow this wooden path.
Trinity, your
through
mic
the
is really
sanctuary garden.
quiet. I don't know if that's just
Yeah,
for
we
me.
can barely hear you.
Interesting.
That's better.
That's
Is that
much
better?
That's
yeah,
much
that's
better.
way better.
Okay.
She takes y'all past this rock garden and out of the sanctuary garden, where you see the massive staircase that leads up the mountain to that sanctuary that y'all spotted when you first got there. She says, "Up there is the shrine. You are not permitted to enter the shrine unless you are summoned. The master lives up there. That's where his quarters are, and he will rarely ever leave. You will rarely interact with him, but if you do, you are to show great respect. Speak when spoken to. Do not touch the master, and do not enter the shrine unless summoned." Any questions?
Do you only get summoned when you're in trouble?
When you're in trouble, or when you do really good. Sometimes the master takes note of things that you don't think would be noticed. One thing you'll learn about living here is the master sees everything. He is borderline omnipotent. He is wise, he is smart, he is kind, but he is also strong. He's not to be messed with. We are all, myself included, given the gift of being able to reside in this monastery. And at the end of the day, we all answer to him. So treat this staircase and the shrine above it with the utmost respect.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mom.
Perfect.
I'm still clutching my broom so tightly.
As you walk a little further, and all of you are still carrying your brooms and kind of sweeping as y'all go, getting little like rocks off the path and stuff like that, you walk past the master staircase, and to the left you see a staircase that leads down under the monastery. And there appears to be a giant metal door with the insignia of a rabbit, like mid-hop, engraved on the door. She gestures down there, and she says, "That is the Still Burrow. If you ever find yourself on the end of Tobu's rod, or at the end of the Master Discipline, you might end up in the Still Burrow. Like I said, it is a place for meditation and reflection, and it is only used for grave infractions. There are a ton of different punishments we use here."
Leaf's kind of looking at it. Is there like windows or
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there, like,
You
a
see,
cell
like,
door
yeah, it's
or
like a
something that?
strict metal door with like a small metal window with iron bars.
Gotcha.
No, so you could technically go up and talk to somebody if you wanted to, but you'd have to go down the staircase all the way to the door, and you see a massive iron key that opens this door. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Evan.
Perception's my best stat.
So you kind of look down and you try to see if you can see anything on the other side of this little window on the door. And you don't see anything, but you hear the clacking as if somebody is hitting the wall with a rock. Just tack, tack, tack. You know somebody's in there, and you can infer who is.
Yeah.
She takes y'all a little farther, and it opens up into this massive courtyard, resembling the entrance courtyard at the main gate. Here you see a bunch of training dummies, archery dummies. You see a massive open area used prominently for sparring, and you see a big board made of wood with an assortment of papers tacked to the board. The papers range in different colors. You see green, yellow, red, and you see one black piece of paper. As you guys get close, she says, "This is the training ground. You'll spend a lot of time here depending on who you train with or what you do in your free time. And this right here is our quest board. When you live at this monastery, and being the novices that you are, we have certain ranks. We have novice, adept, and elite. As novices, you are not to leave the monastery without some sort of guardian. Whether it be an upperclassman, whether it be a teacher, you cannot leave these grounds without some form of chaperone or guardian. Who that is up to you. You can ask whoever you want, develop whatever relations you want. If you have a teacher that you prefer, if they're not busy, or an upperclassman that is willing to give you that time of day, you may take quests that go outside of the monastery." She pulls down a green piece of paper and shows you, and it reads, "Washing dishes." And the reward at the bottom is 5 merit marks. And she points down at the reward, and she says, "Here we use merit marks. These merit marks can be used for a lot of different things, from upgrading your quality of living, to purchasing weapons, to purchasing privileges. There are a bunch of things that you have to do in order to graduate from this monastery, but one of the main things is you have to have 1,000 merit marks. Each of these quests that are posted daily by Nettie will reward you different things, including merit marks." Everybody
Was that
tracking so far?
1,000 to what? To graduate?
Graduate.
1,000 merit marks to graduate. And you see that the green piece of paper that she's holding up, the reward is 5 merit marks.
So I assume that as we get stronger, that each of the level of the quest will the reward will be higher.
Yes, 100%. As novices, I will recommend taking green quests. Green quests tend to be the less lethal, so to speak. You can take yellow quests as novices, but you need a chaperone. Most yellow quests will take place outside of the monastery. These quests tend to do, general errands or running fetch quests or, diplomatic escort missions and stuff like that. Red quests are lethal quests. This is where you will find your bandits. This is where you'll find your thieves or your serial killers or even, your beasts or stuff like that. Red quests I don't recommend until you are at least adept, but you can take any quest you want as long as you clear it with Master Nettie beforehand. If you want to take a quest, you nab it from the board, take it to Nettie, and redeem it. The upperclassmen do get first dibs. After training every day, you have the opportunity to have free time. So after we're done here, you guys can come to the quest board, see what's posted, but try not to grab anything before the upperclassmen, or you might get into a skerfuffle.
Master,
Yes.
you said 1,000 merit to graduate. Is that individual, or if we do these quests together, do we share the reward? Or
She
how
kind
does-
of leans down and like
Just-
ruffles your mane, right, with a big old smile. And she says, "That's a great question. You guys will share merit marks because you are a troop. You are a team. Every mark that you get goes into a cumulative pool for all of you to use. So you need 1,000 marks for your troop to graduate, along with the status of elite. Every year,
So-
there are 2 festivals. We have the Moonlight Festival and the Sunlight Festival." And she kind of points over to a wall where you see a bunch of banners that are all around the courtyard of past winners. And you see portraits painted of rabbits and like first place, third place, second place, third place. She says these festivals are very prestigious. If you manage to get placed in the Moonlight Festival, you will graduate to Adept. And only Adepts can participate in the Sunlight Festival. If you place in the Sunlight Festival, you will graduate to Elite. And then if you have 1,000 marks, you may graduate the monastery.
Are these...
So-
Sorry. Go ahead, Asher.
I was just a little bit. So you said that some of these are lethal. What is the survival rate of the monastery?
It all depends on what you choose to do. So the monastery receives its funding by accepting quests from the rival or the surrounding villages, right? Anything from politicians to merchants to blacksmiths. We are the protecting force of this land. And in order to keep our doors open, and in order to feed you guys and house you guys and train you guys and give you the education that you deserve, we do require gold. So, let's say a merchant needs bodyguards or protection. He needs to get from this town to another town. He will reach out to Master Nettie, and she will post a quest. You can accept this quest, and upon completion, you will receive the gold. You will bring the gold back to Master Nettie, and she will give you merit marks in proportion to however much you earned. This is how we keep the doors open, and how we fund the monastery.
Yeah. So, like I said, do lots of people die trying to graduate?
Sadly, yes. There are a lot of students that bite off more than they can chew. By the time you graduate here, you will be powerful. You will be a force to be reckoned with. Try not to do anything outside of your comfort zone. While we will let you accept these red quests, you are the one who determines if you're ready or not. And Nettie, of course. Nettie will have the final say before she assigns any quest to anybody. And for now, the general rule, no red quest for novices.
As she says that first little bit about lots of people die, I immediately look over to Sekito because I know he's got something to say about that. See if he's crying.
Sekito's eyes are like focused on the little black paper,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulls on Yuri's robes. He's like, ask her about the black paper.
Okay. Master Maru,
Yes.
so each paper is designated a specific color, correct?
Correct.
So what's the black paper?
She looks over and she kind of frowns and she plucks the black paper from the wall. And she holds it up and she says, "Black is urgent. Black is something that needs to be attended to as quick as possible. Black is one of the most difficult quests that will be on this board. These are reserved exclusively for elites, and in special circumstances when the elites are held up, the teachers will handle them. These are threats that are not to be ignored." And she kind of turns the paper around and like pushes it towards you guys, and you read, "Dragon sighted near Ishii village." And she kind of pulls it back and she says, "Not a lot of people come back from these."
Now Sekito looks at Asher with tears in his eyes, and he's like, a lot of people are probably gonna die there.
I'm looking dumbfounded, and I'm gonna look over to Asher and go, "What did that say? I can't read."
What did what say?
What did the page? You guys all.
Reggie,
It's all
I think
changed.
you're one of the only ones in this party that can read.
I can read.
Oh, perfect, you can.
Leaf was so confident. He goes, "Guys, all we have to do is wash the dishes 20 times, and we can graduate."
But at the bottom of the black paper,
You're so right.
you'll notice that the merit marks were 400 as a reward for the black piece of paper.
For certain death? Damn.
So,
Kinda light.
Graduating ain't that important.
Master Moru, I have just one question. If elites are the strongest of the strong, and sometimes if they're held up, then teachers are sent on black quests. How strong are you?
You see as she like quickly smiles and then snuffs it, like she is controlling herself. She says, "I am not of the combat variety. but I am a graduate. As she kind of pulls out her golden bead from underneath her robe, and she says, and in order to graduate, I've had to do a couple of black quests myself. And she tucks
A
it back
couple?
in.
But you only need 1,000 to graduate, and that says 400.
Mhm.
Why a couple?
400.
Did you stick around?
Well, yes. I've done a couple as a teacher and a couple as a student. Whenever you graduate, you have the option to stay here at the monastery, or you have the option to take your apprenticeship and leave. I chose to stay. And personally, it sounds relatively easy to graduate. As long as you do your quests, save your merit marks, you can get out of here. But like I said, there are other things that you can buy with your merit marks, such as private lessons. Or, for example, and she kind of reaches over and plucks a piece of paper off the board, and she reads, Ticket to Sunlight Festival, 50 merit marks. And she turns it over and she says, right now we actually have something that you can buy. Our elites, well, not our elites, our adepts are going to partake in the Sunlight Festival deep in the west. So we're kind of hosting a monastery field trip. And if you choose to go, you can, you'll be given a budget and you can go get snacks and cheer on the monastery as your upperclassmen participate in the games. Maybe get a feel
What
for
color
what
is
the
this
Sunlight
paper?
Festival is. You see that it's just a normal, like, brown piece of paper.
Oh, okay. So it's just like a regular piece of
Grin, don't you think we have to go to that festival?
Festival.
It's what she just said.
Oh, I mean, are we really prepared? We just got here yesterday.
No. She said
We get a budget for
we get to
snacks?
watch it, right? We're just
Yes.
watching, correct?
It is. I want you to think about it like a school trip where you will be assigned a teacher or an upperclassman, and I mean, most of the monastery will be going. The upperclassmen have already gotten their tickets. The troop that's been chosen is the, I'm pretty sure it's the Oak troop. They'll be partaking in the games this year, and the only person not going will be the master. And everybody's going to go show their support, and, the Sunlight Festival is very big when it comes to politics and sponsors, and other masters from other monasteries bring their students, and other organizations enter the games as well, and it's fun. Y'all should really consider going. All you need is
Great.
50 merit
Okay.
marks for all of your ticket.
Question.
What you got?
So, if we earn merits as a group, right?
Yeah.
Then if we spend merits, so in this case, we're talking about a ticket to the festival, that would cover our entire troop,
Yeah.
not just one person,
Yes, correct. Anything that you
including like
purchase
private
will
lessons
be-
and stuff like that too.
So when it comes to private lessons, and when it comes to, for example, weapons, like let's say you need specialty dagger made or something, because we do have blacksmiths here, and we do have traders that come
Right.
visit and stuff like that.
My
Yeah.
ears immediately perk up at specialty dagger.
Your ears perk up, and she says, "Mm-hmm. We have traders who show up and blacksmiths who come visit the village, and we are well supplied, but it does cost merit marks. We want you to pull your weight around here. When it comes to purchasing these weapons, you need to discuss it among your troop. Most of the times, a weapon, the first thing that you'll probably need to buy for 50 marks is weapons rights, the ability to carry weapons inside the monastery. The reason for this is we want you to get accustomed to the monastery. We want you to pull your weight, clean a couple times, maybe participate in some of the fun games we have on rest day, win some marks for your troop, and then hopefully, after you've had about a week to accumulate, then you can have weapons. So the first thing you'll probably want to get is that weapons license. Once you have the ability to carry weapons, you have access to our arsenal. We have all the basic weapons you can pick, from bows to daggers to swords. But if you want specialty crafted items, such as, magical quality or +1s, as she looks metagame, or +1s or anything like that, anything that's out of the ordinary, anything that's not in the basic supply, it would be, I don't know, on average, another 50 marks for one weapon. And that's for y'all to discuss and see if it's worth that. If you have somebody in the troop who needs that weapon, maybe it's worth spending the merit marks to get them that sword or get them that armor. Or
Sekito runs over to the nearest large boulder he sees and he starts trying to shine it. He's like, come on, guys,
Grin,
we can do this.
Grin. On the topic of the Western Sunlight Festival, would you even want to go back?
I mean, I'm not opposed, but it will interfere with our training, would it not? We would
I mean,
be
yes.
taking time off,
Going to the
essentially.
festival is a treat. It is something fun, and you do not have to go. You are not required to, but you are encouraged to go support your upperclassmen and get a feel for what's expected of you at the Moonlight Festival if you choose or are chosen to participate. These festivals are a big deal. Everyone from across the country comes to see. You will see tons
Last
of different
thing
skills
from-
and sacred techniques and tons of different foods, and you'll meet lots of wacky people and probably grow closer together. You'll stay in very strange places, and it'll be fun.
Last question from me, Master Moru. In terms of weapons rights, what is to stop the heathens from getting revenge on us for embarrassing them tenfold at the proving ceremony?
She says, hopefully, the Still Burrow.
Okay, I
And
will
if that
put
does
my
not-
faith in you, but I have.
You have the
You
right
don't.
to
You don't
defend
know
yourself.
where they come from.
Veggie, it just means that we need to get our weapons rights back first, just in case.
At the end of the day,
Can I-
violence
That's
does
not bad.
happen here. Bullying does happen, and we do expect you to relatively hold your own. If somebody comes at you with malicious intent, you are to rely on your teachers. You are to report it. You are to protect yourselves. But if that is not an option, defend yourself. It is
And
that
what
simple.
if that results in their demise? They struck first. Would we go to the Stillborough because of their transgressions?
You will more than likely, if a casualty occurs on monastery grounds, regardless of the reason, both parties will meet with the master and he will disperse judgment according to what happened. The master sees all. The master sees through lies. He knows. And he'll tell you what needs to happen. And it's rare. It is rare that violence happens on these grounds, but it's not rare for violence to happen outside. And it's not rare for it to happen when nobody's looking. But if it comes to that, do what's right. Defend yourself, stand up for what you believe in, and face the master with a clean heart, with integrity. As long as you're doing what you need to do, there's nothing to fear. And you are safe here. Does that answer
Okay.
your question?
Yes, that suffices for now.
Leaf
What is-
Leaf raises his hand and goes, how much are weapon rights?
50 merit marks.
Dang.
What is next on the tour?
Well, next on the tour, we're going to head this way. And she kind of walks you guys through the training grounds where you see all of the dummies have like their heads kind of dented in, and some arrows are still stuck in some of the targets, and all of you get a good look at the different banners. The banners flip-flop from a dark banner with the Moonlight Festival, and then it flips to the Sunlight Festival. Moonlight Festival tends to be younger people. You see that the portraits of these rabbits range from 14 to 16, and then you see Sunlight Festival ranges from 17 to 20-year-olds, and they're all grizzled and grr. You can tell that the Sunlight Festival is the big one. You guys walk through the training grounds, and you encounter another giant torii gate with a big iron oak door. She opens the door and it creaks, and you see a long staircase that leads back behind the monastery. You guys entered in on the south side. This is to the north. And this staircase winds down deeper into the valley and deeper into the mountains, where you see as the trees grow thicker. She says, this is the enchanted forest. It watches you and it tests you. You are not to go in here without a guardian. Because if you go in here, there's a chance you don't come back. You will participate in regular trainings in this area, but you are not to go without some form of guardian. There are beasts There are illusions, there are tricks. It is sacred, it is holy, but it is not pure. Are there any questions when it comes to the Enchanted Forest? And you see as he slowly shuts this heavy gate and slides a giant wooden beam to lock it in place. She says, all right, follow me. As she continues with her very casual demeanor.
Leaf, I never want to go in there.
I really want to go in there.
I would also like to say that I want to go in there as well.
I also
No, it looks
would
so
like to go in
scary.
there.
Yeah, Sekito's like, do you think we get extra points if we clean in there?
And Leaf's like, that's a good idea. Oh my gosh.
You see as Mara's ears kind of perk up and she says, okay. And she opens the gate. Come on, guys.
No, why did you have to say anything?
Asher's immediately feeling immediate regret, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean right now.
Yeah,
I
got a
just
little
meant
too much
in
dip on
the
the chin."
future.
Bro,
I
she
just
kinda-
thought that maybe."
Bro,
Sekito's
y'all
like, I
out
don't
the
have
gate.
my
I was about to
my
say,
Windex.
after hearing this, I'm immediately walking in because I'm trying to puff myself up, and I'm like, yeah, guys, come on, it's easy, and I'm just gonna walk in there.
I
You
left
guys-
Are you
my
kidding
gloves
me
back
right
in.
now?
You all walk out the gate, and she shuts the gate behind you guys, and she says, I'm just kidding. We're not going to go in there. And
Oh my god, I thought we were gonna die.
She walks y'all along the outer wall of the monastery.
I'm gonna look at her and I'm gonna go, you tease.
You guys are now on the outside of the monastery, and you see that the outer ring of the monastery has an assortment of different sakura trees. These sakura trees range from saplings to full-grown to old to wilting. And on a couple of these sakura trees, you see that there are beads of past graduates that are dangling from the branches. And she stops, kind of looks at you guys, and you see as a big gust of wind hits and the sakura petals fall. And she says, every tree here was planted by a graduating student. Their legacy remains with us in blossom, and it protects us from the magic of the mystic forest, of the magical forest to the north. She looks over at you, Sekito, and you see as she kind of puts her hand on a tree that does not have beads on it. This tree is relatively young. She says, when a warrior passes, we place their prayer beads on their tree to honor them, to say, you did not vanish. You became the roots of this monastery, and you keep us safe and pass your knowledge on to the next generation. And she looks down at your prayer beads. She says, I see you carry a great weight. If these belong to the one I believe, then this is his tree. You may tie them here, let him rest, and walk lighter yourself. But only when you're ready.
Okay. I'll have to do it now.
You do not have to do it now.
Sweet.
But you do get a look at this tree as it kind of sways in the breeze, and you feel at peace. You know that this is your brother's tree.
Sekito rocks up, belly out, like a little toddler. He rubs his eyes. He's like, "Are we allowed to visit this place?"
Well, it is technically outside the monastery. As long as you have a guardian, you can come whenever you wish.
I'm gonna need a little bit more time then.
Okay. And she kind of puts her hand on your shoulder, and she kind of sits there in silence as she looks up at the tree with you. She says, whenever you're ready, you'll be waiting. And the wind almost blows on cue as the tree kind of moves. She says, all right, let's go. And she walks a little further down. All of you notice that there are a lot of trees. These trees have been planted over the generations. This monastery is old, judging by how many saplings there are and how many great sakura trees are in bloom. The sakura trees kind of part and, stop the full circle and kind of span out as you enter an obstacle course. There are ropes hanging from these massive oak trees and giant wooden planks that go up to balancing beams. She says, this is the outer grounds. This is where you will be doing a lot of your balance and a lot of your capture the flag exercises. You'll spend a lot of time out here, especially with Master Lin. She loves to run y'all in circles. Are there any questions?
This actually looks fun.
As you say it looks fun, you see that there is a rope swing, and directly below it there's a massive, like, hole that's been dug out with this dark, murky water. This water has moss that's grown over it. It looks muddy and gross. You can tell the exact kind of time you're going to have on this obstacle course.
Muddy falling, you mean?
You get flashbacks to Wipeout. She leads y'all further past the obstacle course, and you get to the front gate where you arrived before, and you see this path that goes all the way down the valley back to Ishi Village where you all started. And you can see kind of the tops of the roofs off in the distance. She says, "That is Ishi Village. You may visit it one day with permission, or with the Guardian." She turns back and kind of faces you guys, and she says, "You are not to leave the monastery unsupervised. I know I've said that a lot, but your seeds are not yet rooted, and we do not want anything bad to happen to you. We are here to keep you safe, and until you can prove yourselves capable, make sure you have somebody with you. Does everybody understand?" And she kind of looks at each of you one by one, expecting you to acknowledge.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
All right. She lifts her hand to the wind, and she says, "All the gold that you earn from quests are to be turned into Master Nettie. Anything else that you need, make sure you reach out to me. I will be around. I'm here to take care of you if you are sick. I'm here to hold you if you are sad. But I'm also here to teach you manners and teach you respect. Teachers are here for you, but we are not here to be abused. I will not have my kindness taken lightly. I'm smarter than you think I am."
I only have one final question then.
What is that?
I'm assuming this is the end of the tour for the grounds, but I kind of said it earlier, but it's slightly embarrassing, but I don't know how to read, and I would like to learn.
Yeah? Well, Master Nettie will be the one who teaches you that. You have a
Okay.
lesson with her first thing in the morning. She will teach you the histories, she will teach you how to write and how to read, religions, philosophies. Nettie is smart. And as she kind of walks in, she points off into the distance, and she says, "Nettie's library is that way. And directly behind her library is the teacher housing. Don't enter the teacher housing. If I find you in my room, I will fight you."
Understood.
Okay. The library is off limits
need-
to novices unless you are accompanied by a teacher. Keep your sticky paws off the books and the scrolls until you can prove that you'll treat them with the due respect.
Do we need to just wait outside our housing for our teachers in the morning?
Your teacher should be outside your house in the morning, and training is mandatory until you become adepts. Once you're adepts, training is optional. You can choose to partake, or you can choose to go on about your day and go quests. Every day after training, you will be able to have free time until dinner. You are expected to be at dinner and eat, and that is where the teachers will give performance reviews. And every rest day, the master will come down himself, and he will update the rankings and tell you guys any achievements. I want you to think, as she kind of like points off into the distance of metagame, and she says, "Think Hogwarts." You will have your class rankings every rest day, and the
10
master
points
will.
for Thistle Troop.
The master will give accommodations, and he will reward beads according to the things that you achieve throughout the week. But training is mandatory as long as you are novices, and you will remain novices until you graduate, or until you place in the Moonlight Festival, whether that be, and she kind of looks down, she says, in 6 months, or the next one, a year from now. Any other questions?
Understood.
She kind of claps her hands together and she looks up, and the sun has set. Like, it's been a long day of you guys going through this tour and kind of cleaning the grounds and taking care of anything. And she says, "We're going to go ahead and go prepare dinner." And she kind of leads y'all forward into the kitchen. She says, "I'm going to teach you, for your lesson today, how to make rice balls. She says, "Who would like to cut the vegetables?"
I would. We both raise our hands.
She grabs both of you and says, "Good, it's a two-man job. There's a lot of people to feed." And she puts y'all, as y'all walk into the dining hall and go through the curtain, you see this giant, like, summer camp-esque kitchen. Think like the Thomasons on a lake trip, you know what I mean? Like, it's just this big kitchen with tons of island space and tons of stoves for boiling water. She says, "I need people in charge of making rice."
I can do that as well.
She grabs both of you and puts y'all in front of the stoves. She says, "And last but not least, I need people to shape the balls after they come out and place them on the plates."
Me.
And she grabs you two and puts you on the line. I'm now going to introduce metagame, the new mechanic. Every day,
playing Overcooked?
you guys will have the opportunity to train. You have 3 options, and you are to roleplay accordingly, and you'll tell me at the start of your training that day. Every day that you train, you can either work hard, like push yourself, whether it is learning to cook, whether it is strength training, or on the sparring grounds. You can push through, and you will make a check. Today, it's going to be a charisma check, as you learn to cook and learn proper etiquette. Anytime that you train with Master Mayu, you are attempting to up your charisma. All right, so you can push through, and you'll roleplay kind of trying to learn and push through and gain the skill. And if you pass the DC, which I won't tell you, you will gain 1 charisma point. The second option,
Like
you
ability
can-
score improvement?
Correct.
Can I ask a question before we move on for this?
Yes.
Can the okay? So you say we can push through.
Yep. You
Let's
can
say
push
we
yourself.
can relate. We can roleplay wise relate our task to a different roll other than what's being rolled. Like so, you said for Myra will, or for this
Mayu.
lady will do. Mayu will roll charisma.
Yep.
But let's say if I was like, oh, I roleplay, I go carry pails of water for the rice to boil it.
No.
Can I roll for strength? No?
Depending
Okay.
depending on what you do, of course, I'll give leeway in the future, right? But the general
Mm.
gist is when you train with Mayu, when it comes to, learning to pour tea or learning proper manners, you're going to work on your charisma. Right now, you're learning to cook
Okay.
food. People love chefs and having the ability to cook. You know what I mean? So you're working your charisma right now. If you choose to push yourself, and regardless whether you meet the DC and get the point, or you fail the DC and you don't upgrade that day, you will get 1 level of exhaustion. That will impact the second half of your day, which comes to your roleplay, which comes to your quests. You can only remove exhaustion levels by your long rest. So if you choose to push that day and you really want that point, regardless if you make it or not, and regardless if you get the point, you will have disadvantage on ability checks for your roleplay later that day. The second option, you can choose to slack off, and you'll roleplay it accordingly, where you will not attempt to get the DC. You won't roll for it, but you'll have to roleplay as you try to slack off for the day and try to not push yourself as hard. If you slack off, you will get 10 temporary hit points for the afternoon. And you will get advantage on perception and investigation checks exclusively for the afternoon.
Is there like a third option for
There
like?
is.
Okay.
The third
Sorry.
option
Advantage
is
on
you can. The third
Sorry.
option is you can choose to help a friend, and you will roleplay how you help your friend. So, for example, if you guys go and you train charisma, Caleb, you got a 15. You don't need charisma. You don't want charisma, but Trinity has a 5. She's fucking failed her checks every time she's tried to make it. You can help her. You can try and help her cook today. Show her how to shape the rice balls and stuff like that. If you do that, she gets advantage on her check that day, and you get inspiration that you get to use in the afternoon on your quests, on your roleplay, stuff like
cool.
that. Yep. So, as of right now, do you guys have any question when it comes to the mechanic?
Don't think so.
Or the second option, we gained advantage on which rolls?
On perception and
Perception and
investigation.
Perception and yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you slacked off today, you didn't push yourself, you're not exhausted, so when you go into the second half of the day, whether it's questing or role-playing or whatever, you're not sapped. You didn't do push-ups all morning, you're more perceptive, you're more on edge, you're more in tune, you know what I mean? Slacking off does have its perks. You don't get the exhaustion level, and you get advantage on perception and investigation checks for the rest of the day.
Alright, here's
Can
what
our
we do,
teachers
everybody.
tell what we choose?
Your teachers cannot, but your teachers will pay attention. So if you choose to slack off, depending on your teacher, like, the hard-ass Master Tobu, if you slack off around him and he notices, you could get disciplined. You know what I mean? And that's for you guys to discern and build relationships with the teachers, figure out creative ways to slack off if you choose to slack off, if you just need to have those basic stats for the afternoon, whether y'all are planning on going on a quest and you're like, I cannot have disadvantage today. Like, I just can't take it. You know what I mean? Like, I need to slack off today. And whether y'all creatively do it as a group, whether you're like, every time she turns her back, I fucking get on my phone and watch TikToks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. However you slack off that day.
Okay.
That makes sense?
All we gotta do is time skip to 6 months from now. We do all of our work hard rolls at once. We'll probably get like 20s on each stat, or something like that.
He's cooking.
Yeah,
And,
I will say
then
the
we can just
DC
go to the
increases. So right now, I'm not going to tell you all the DC. It's relatively easy. I'll tell you if you pass or fail at the end of the lesson, right? Whether you get the point or not. It does increase, though. It gets harder. So you guys,
I like it. That's
you
really
guys-
cool.
As you guys level up certain
I like that
skills
too.
and y'all hit that plateau, it's going to require more helping each other and strategically being like, fuck, okay, we really need to help Tristan get this strength check, because if he doesn't get the strength point, like, you know what I mean?
All right. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's failed 3 weeks in a row.
It's gonna be.
We got to
cool.
help him today.
That makes sense. I
Alright,
like it.
Cool. I like
So-
it. That's fun.
As she
Spot me,
sets,
bro.
as she sets Isaiah and Caleb up in front of the chopping, right? Like both of y'all are on chopping.
No.
Or it's
Me and Blake.
Blake and
Me.
Isaiah.
Okay. Isaiah and Caleb, or Isaiah and Blake, you guys are sitting in front of the chopping table. She sets down these large knives that are used for dicing vegetables and dicing onions.
I was about to
She-
say, instinctually, I'm just gonna start using my claws, and I'll be like, oh shit.
She looks at you with a frown and she says, no, no, no. And she grabs the carrot, she pulls it close, and she teaches you proper chopping techniques and how to dice a carrot.
But I was born with these tools. Why can I
Well,
not use
your
them?
tools are dirty, and you need to start
I
learning
can
how
wash-
to use these tools.
I pick up the knife and I like watched her very intently on how
Yeah.
she did it. But instead of holding it like a chef's knife, I hold it like a dagger. And I'm gonna kind of like be like trying to stab. I'm really trying hard, but I just
Yeah.
don't understand how to hold a knife not like a dagger. And
She
I'm
kind
just
of
like
walks up behind you, right? And like a mother, she kind of embraces you, and you feel this soft presence. So she is very patient and very kind. And she's like, no, hold it like this. And she moves the vegetable, and she kind of grabs your hand and shows you slowly how to chop each slice. She says, do you understand?
I think so. I've never held a blade like this before.
Have you held other
Oh.
blades?
Oh, yes, very many.
So are we working hard here?
I am. I just don't
And
understand.
Isaiah, are you?
Yeah,
pushing
likewise,
hard?
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
am pushing hard.
I need both of you to make me a charisma check.
We're pushing P, you know?
12.
11 and 12.
Not bad,
Both
boys.
of you increase your charisma by 1 as you successfully learn
Yay.
how to chop vegetables. You can choose to add this skill to your character sheet if you want. You'll learn a lot of different skills as you progress, like learning how to read and write and stuff like that. But both of you know how to dice vegetables.
Okay, the only thing I had there, and just because I see it, does an at 20 affect anything when you're learning? Pushing hard?
It does, and I will explain that when it happens.
Okay. Alright, bet.
All right. Caleb and Tristan, you guys are boiling rice, correct?
Correct.
You guys step in front of the stove, and she kind of leans over and teaches you how to light the stove. She grabs.
Before she leans over, I already have it turned on because I've watched the chefs at my
Oh, dude,
home do it so many times for me.
100%. She looks over and sees that you already have it turned on, and she's like, "Impressive. Didn't expect you to know your way around a kitchen, Mr. Reggie."
I've watched a couple of times.
Sekito also looks impressed. He's like, I don't know how to do that.
Well, here,
Take over open fire.
let me show you. And she kind of leans down and she says, "Come down here."
He leans down.
You lean down and she's like, right here, do you see this? This is a pilot light. All right, Blake really needs to pay attention to this. and she shows you how to light the pilot light, and she stands you up, and she kind of reaches her hand in the water. She says, obviously it's not hot right now, but in a minute, when it starts to boil, don't touch the water. Okay? You'll burn yourself. You'll really hurt yourself, and you're going to wait until you see small bubbles.
It'll happen.
Once you see the small bubbles, you are ready to throw the rice into the pot. Okay?
Okay.
Are you guys pushing, or are you slacking, or are you helping?
So, Reiji asks her, so after this, we will be serving, yes?
Correct.
Can I make one request?
What is your request, young master?
Could I please... Oh, thank you. He's visibly blushing a little bit. He's like,
Yeah.
is there any chance I could stay in the back, or just not be seen serving to front of
Mm-hmm.
Karage?
You see as her eyes get like really narrow, and she says, while I appreciate the request, I am inclined to make you serve Karage now. Here, you learn how to serve even people you don't like, because we are
Please.
all brothers and sisters.
I glance over at Reiji. I'm holding the knife still, and I'm like,
Please keep an eye on him. I don't trust him, and I don't trust where he's from. Please keep an eye on him
Now that
during
I
the
can
service.
I
Thank
will
you.
make sure you are safe.
And then he's pushing hard now.
I like it. Both of you give me a charisma check.
Big.
Caleb, you get a +1 to your charisma, but Tristan, your character is just so stressed out by the entire process of the day. You know, you kind of reach down and you remember her saying, don't touch the water as it's bubbling, as you put your hand in it. And you're like, oh, shit. And it just doesn't quite click. You don't understand the concept of lighting the pilot light. That is the hardest part for you, and you do not get a charisma point today.
you manifested him failing this one. You manifested it.
Bro, I was
Brody.
waiting.
What's up,
Dude, I was
Caleb?
gonna
Go
be
ahead.
like, oh, I'm gonna help. And I was like, nah, I'll roll for it.
What's up, Trin?
As they're finishing their thing, I'm a little panicked, right?
Yep.
And so I'm trying to sit here and I'm trying to roll this rice ball. But as I go over to Sekito and I see him fail that one time, I would like to help.
Okay.
Use my thing to help him so he can try to roll again
How?
and be like,
Yeah.
Okay, well, real quick, metagame. I don't need charisma, Trinity.
neither do I, but I am
Well.
proud of you for trying.
Trinity, I will say, since he's already rolled, we can see what his advantage is, and it's not.
I was
going
about to say
help him.
metagame. It's not gonna
Yeah.
help.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
Negative
I love-
one
I
is
love
an
the sentiment.
alternative.
One negative
Like
one.
10 out of 10 for wanting to go out of your way for Tristan, but he will fail.
Reiji,
Okay.
after Sekito burns himself, he does pull Reiji over to the sink, and he's like,
Mhm.
"See, this is why she said
He
this would
pulls-
happen." He turns on the sink, and he's like, "I know that might be confusing for you. Put your hand under the cold water."
Oh, Sekito's like, pain is the best teacher. He puts his hand down and he
Jesus
turns,
Christ.
starts walking back to the oven.
You guys continue to attempt to boil the water as Mayun notices. Trinity and
I'm just
Evan,
gonna.
you are both sitting there, and they finish boiling the rice. They strain it. They kind of grab this mushy rice and just set it in a bowl next to y'all. And she shows y'all to how to wash your hands, how to grab these and stuff the boiled vegetables inside the rice ball, and take some seaweed and wrap it around. And it's very delicate. It's very tedious work. Would you guys like to push through, slack off, or help somebody?
Evan, what do you need?
You know, Leaf's gonna work hard. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Trinity, what about you?
just-
Can I metagame real quick?
Of course. okay.
Think about it, Trinity. There's no reason to just try and roll for it here. Likely, I mean, this is our rest day, or not a rest day, but it's our chores day. It's likely that this would be a really good time to try and just get that extra point.
Isn't it? I mean, again, metagame wise, this is why he probably introduced it now. Aren't we going to like sleep after this anyway? Like we're gonna
Something,
eat
yeah.
and
Today
then
was a
sleep.
very long day, so y'all are going to eat
Yeah,
and go to sleep.
I was
Correct.
about to say. I mean, like the exhaustion doesn't matter.
Yeah, I would say it would be best to just go ahead and hopefully take the extra charisma point. Unless we're about to just get Dragon in Ishi Village is about to just blow up the monastery. I
I
think.
mean, hey, y'all know
I
my
think
MO,
it-
right? Like-
yeah.
There's no war in Ba Sing Se, all right.
I'm gonna push through. I'm
Okay.
gonna push hard, but I don't know. I'm working through anxiety regarding this whole chores day right now.
I get
So
it. You're a little shaken. Your hands are a little clammy as you kind of put the first rice ball together. You notice your hands are sweaty. You go over, you wash them at the basin. You do another rice ball. Your hands are sweaty again. You wash them at the basin. What about you, Evan? What are you doing?
I'm working hard. I'm learning how to do it.
Hardly
I'm doing it.
working, more or less.
However, at like a certain point, you notice I pocket one of the rice balls.
Go ahead and
I
give
like-
me
I
a
like-
stealth check, Evan.
A sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand, yes. So you do pocket this rice ball, and Mayu clearly sees it. Like she looks up, like you try to time it, right? You're like, as soon as she turns her back, as soon as she turns her back, and then you go to put it in your pocket right as she turns back around, looks down, and goes, "Really?
And I'm like, just one.
Only this time?"
Thanks, Mayu. And I keep working hard.
Okay.
I guess can I roll for it?
Both of you give me a charisma roll.
Oh. Low.
Trinity, you do get a charisma point. Evan,
Yippee.
you do not. In the midst of the whole rice ball theft, your focus is not on learning, it is on collecting food today. You do not remember the proper procedures to make a rice ball, but you do remember that Mayu will probably let you steal food.
At least one.
The real winner.
You guys finish crafting this immaculate meal, and it's nothing flashy. You are all inexperienced. None of you have really cooked food before, but you see that there are these plates of just massive rice balls, and there's about 6 of them, enough to serve the entire monastery after the time y'all are done. And y'all finish cleaning the dishes, y'all take them outside, y'all set them on the massive table, and Mayu kind of sets y'all behind the table, and she says, "All right, when they come in, make sure you serve everyone. Whenever they get food from you, they will bow, and you bow in return." And she looks over at Reggie, and she says, "You will bow in return, right?"
Do they bow first?
"Oh yes, they're thanking you for the meal.
What if they do not bow?
If they do not bow, they do not get food."
That will suffice.
Win-win, really.
You
More for
guys-
us if they don't.
You guys line up behind the table. Is there anything you'd like to do as you hear the other troops start heading into the dining hall? What's up, Caleb?
Do I see any like rice balls that look just like not as good as the others?
Yeah, you see one that looks like it has a bunch of sweat on it from Trinity's clammy hands.
Can I try to set that one to the side?
Yeah, you grab it and kind of set it on another plate off to the side to where you know where it's at.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I walk up with my chef knife in my hands like this to Mayu and say,
Ma'am, I was wondering if I could take this back with me to the home so that I can practice cutting my vegetables at home.
She quickly grabs it out of your hand and she says, "No." But once you get weapons rights, yes, all right? It was a great
Okay.
thought, but you are one of the only people in this troop that has stabbed somebody in the last 24 hours.
That
cannot
is
let you
a
take
very
this
good
knife.
point. I understand. I just was wondering.
She kind of chuckles and pats you on the head and she says, "But soon."
Okay.
You guys all line up behind the table, and you hear as the other troops clamor in. First comes in the Ash troop, and you see them start to get into line in order to grab food, and you see that they are covered in bruises. You see that Karage is up front, and he kind of shoves somebody behind him, and his belly grumbles. And he walks up to get a rice ball when a massive
I
hand...
hurriedly put. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I was gonna say I hurriedly put the sweaty rice ball on my plate and get the plate ready,
Mhm.
and I have it prepped for him as
You
soon.
do
Like
that.
it's not revealed yet, but as soon as he starts walking,
You do that. You have the rice ball set to the side, ready for Kurage. As he steps up to grab a rice ball, you see as a massive hand grabs him by the shoulder and yanks him back. As this, 20-year-old rabbit, he is massive. He has giant chest, pectoral muscles. His arms are the size of tree trunks. His belly is huge. He has a power of